You know what blew my mind like crazy is that not all slugs are like closely related to each other.
Oh, it was a snail. Never mind, it was not a slug.
So
But
slugs
similar.
are all snails. And it's happened like 11 times that we know of that a snail lost its shell and that became a lineage of slugs, right? But yeah, slugs are not just like one group of snails that lost their shells. They're like a lot of times this has happened apparently. I don't know, I found that really interesting.
That is really interesting. I didn't know it happened several times.
Yeah,
I knew it's
me
happened. I didn't know how many times it's happened. I think I might have talked about this last time. I had to do a presentation on like why waterfowl and landfowl have different genitalia.
I had read about this, right? Because the deal is like, you need a strategy that allows for more control in reproduction than just like, if you're in the air, it doesn't really matter if it's very easy because like there's not going to be contact. But if you're in the water, then any male can release his genetic material and it just gets up in there, right? So if you want to be choosy about who you reproduce with, then you got to make sure that you have a way of choosing, which is why if you're sitting on the water all day, you need a way to protect your genetic material from other people's genetic material.
And a little scary because that meant I had to look at a lot of bird genitalia and they are frightening. Okay, the woman who wrote the paper that me and the people in my group were talking about, that's all she does.
I have to respond to Blight, who said, did you know we're more closely related to some species of trees than some tree species are to each other? That's not true. I'm sorry, I don't know who told you that, but no. I don't know, unless you're considering like a fungus? A species of tree or something? If you're just looking at species of trees, they're all plants, right? Trees are very polyphyletic, right? There are a lot of different things that became stuff that we would now consider a tree, but they're all plants, and we're animals. There is no plant that is more closely related to animals than it is to plants. So I'm sorry, you've been misled. Sorry, you were saying?
They do that regularly to try to rage bait me.
What? Wait, that's specifically for you?
I think so.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, no, it's not. But they've said it several times to me, and I'm like, that's just not even remotely true. And they're like, no, we are. And I'm like, no, please stop.
I never know if they're rage baiting me or not. So sometimes people will say stuff like that, and I always try and be like, oh, I don't think that's the case. I'm sorry. Because just on the off chance that it's just like a sweet little kid who was like, I was misled, and I don't want to make them feel dumb or scared, but I never know. Sometimes they are just, S-tier rage baiters. Oh my god, but I'm sorry, you were talking about the lady who was presenting on the waterfowl reproductive organ paper.
Yeah, so it was really traumatizing. Because we had to go through so many images of just essentially dissected fowl genitalia. So that was kind of awful, in every way that it could be awful.
Yeah.
But also it turns out that this woman, all she researches is fowl genitals. Like, you go to her page, she has like 5 or 6 different published research articles, and all of them are just about fowl genitalia.
You gotta have a lot of respect for a person who knows exactly who they are and what they want to do, you know? Like, at a certain point, you gotta be like, wow, like, it's not what I would have chosen, but she's really in her element.
Yeah, but like for the past 30 years, I think, because she's old now, and that's just all she's been doing. like your whole life. That's a lot to commit to, man.
I bet that's what she dreamed
of
of when she was a little girl. She spent her whole life.
God, I hope that's not what she dreamed of when she was a little girl.
I don't know. I mean, why don't you want her to have achieved her dreams?
Do you think every little girl is daydreaming about?
No, I think
fowl
this one was.
I
think this one particular little girl was clearly daydreaming about that because that's what she's grown up to do solely. Her entire research. For how many years? She's been like
30 or something. It's like
30
every
years!
single article.
Bro, that's longer than a lot of marriages. She's been on this duck genitalia grind.
It's not just ducks too. It's like every kind of fowl.
Yeah, tell me this woman didn't spend her childhood dreaming of this day.
I can't tell you you're wrong. It's just
I don't like
wanna
it either,
think about
man.
That. I don't want to think about